Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this new module. So in this module, now we are going to start with a very important data structure and that is graph. So let's get started. Now graph is a data structure that is made up of sets of nodes which are also called vertices. So let me just write, yeah. Graph is a data structure made up of set of nodes also known as vertices and edges, connection between pair of nodes. Now it is very similar to a tree. Okay, so in tree also, if you all remember, we used to have nodes like this, right? So let's say this is my one node, this is my other node, there can be one node more, and let's say this is another node. Okay, just the difference is this time in a graph, there is no foundation or no condition that the node should be connected in this way, right? So this the one which I have drawn is actually a graph. If I say join two of the nodes, this is also a graph. Let's say I'm creating another node outside. Okay, still it's a graph because according to the definition, it's just a data structure made up of set of nodes. Okay, we have set of nodes and edges, something which is connecting these nodes. So the best way to understand about graph in general is to think of a social network. Okay, so let me just give you the example. Let's say some real world examples. Now, social networks like say Facebook or Instagram, they are a fabulous example of a graph. In that, what you can think of is each and every user is a node, and if they are connected, let's say if they are friend with each other, or if they are following each other, right? Then that would be a edge or a connection between them, right? So we can have multiple users, and we do have, and there can be the case that a particular user, these all are connected, and someone who joins new, who is not following anyone, he is just outside, right? So that's a very good example of understanding about graph. Now the reason we need graph is that there are lots of different type of data which can be represented by a graph and not by any other data structure which we have learned till now. The whole aim, the way we have gone through this data structure and algorithm course, is to understand that where this particular thing can be used. Now, graph as a data structure can be helpful in solving lots of real world use cases. Okay, so we are going to see more examples, but that is the reason that we need graph as well. Because when those kind of problems happen, we have to make sure that we have some data structure through which we can efficiently just be able to visualize or represent our data and then of course work on that. Okay, so the next example, which is again very easy to understand, is the city map and road network. Okay, city map and road network, or you can even think of railway network. We have stations which can be the nodes, and the tracks can be the edges or the connection between them. Okay, so city maps and road. Then let us see another example, everyone. So another can be minute. Yeah, other overall example for this graph can be the flight route and airports, right? So all the airports, you can think that they are the nodes, and the route, any flight route, is the edge or a connection between them. Now we will be discussing about each and every terminology, if they can have multiple connections, what are the different kinds of graph, all of that we will be studying. But first we should understand that what is the real world use case or the real world example to better intuitively understand that where it can be used. Okay, so I hope these examples are clear, they are very much from the real life. Now let us talk about some industry use cases. Great. Coming to industry use cases, everyone, the very first one minute, let me just write it neatly. Yeah, industry use cases. So the very first one, just from the real life, we have Google Maps or any other maps, right? So Google Maps, Apple Map. The basic idea or the basic data structure powering each and everything there is a graph. So all those navigation, everything which we are studying or which we are able to use, The basic idea behind that lies in graph. Then again, in industry, if we go discuss about it, we have the search engine as well, right? Search engines. Now, to think how graph basically is used in search engine, let us take an example of Google. Google has a very famous page rank algorithm. Like that's also one of the first research paper which I studied. So in rank algorithm, what we do is that we use a graph, okay, to rank web pages. So Google, the whole aim is that if you are able to search anything based on some ranking, okay, it is able to show you the results. Now pages are actually the nodes, and hyperlink between them are directed edges. Okay, so we will discuss about this as well, the directed and undirected edge. But the overall pages, they are also connected through other pages as well. Okay, so the algorithm evaluates the importance of a page based on how many, or let's say which page is the hot one, or how many edges are basically converging to a particular page. So just to get a basic idea, this is how it can be used in search engine as well, and rather is used a lot in search engine. Now these are the kind of algorithms, right? So the reason again we have to study that is these kind of algorithm, you can think that how important they are. They can make or break even $1 billion company. If Google algorithm is not good, okay, if the results which it was producing was not good, then of course it will be not feasible to use for everyone. And that is the reason the understanding in data structures and specific algorithms are a lot important. Okay, so these are some examples, everyone, for from our industry and real life. In real industry, I will like to write the social network again as well. Okay, so to understand social network websites. The above you can think of social network in real life in real life as well. So let's say if you are in a college or a school or even in a company, maybe you have a team. Okay, so you all are connected. There can be a separate team where some people from your team and that team is connected. So these are the different ways basically we say that we can use graph to just represent our real world data. Now many of you might be getting confused between a tree and a graph. So let me just talk a little bit about that as well. A tree is a special kind of a graph. Okay, so tree is a kind of a graph because again it also has nodes. Okay, and it was also connected with some rule, but all the nodes were connected. So tree is a special kind of graph where two major rules are valid. So let us see them one by one. First one, every node is connected to each other in some way. Each other in some way. So there cannot be no isolated node, right? No isolated node possible. Great. So we can draw a tree and see that as well. Like we never drew a tree where, let's say if this one is the node, okay, then let's say it is having two childrens. Yeah. We never drew that a particular node is there and nothing is connected to that, right? Each and every node was connected. What does that effectively mean is also that from one node, I can surely reach out to other node. That can be via passing through different node, but there always used to be a way, which is not, of course, a condition in graphs, right? Second thing, very important again, trees never have a cycle. So trees don't have a cycle. For cycle, you can think of this kind of a graph. So let's say if I have three nodes, for example, then they all are connected like this, right? So we can take a direction or unit direction, something which we will talk about. But now this is having a cycle, right? Because I can go around and around like this. Each and everything is connected here. Let me just draw it like this so you feel that we can move in any direction. In trees, there was no such condition, there was no such overall cycle ever present. You cannot have these joined, okay? trees, different subtree, they cannot be connected with each other, and a tree can never have a cycle. Okay, so that's the major difference between a tree and a graph, everyone. Now I'm pretty sure that you must have got a little idea on what graphs actually are. In the next video now, we are going to discuss on different terminologies which are used in graph. So to work on graph, it is very, very important that we understood different kinds of graph, different kind of relation, different terminologies. The way we are able to say that, okay, this point is this thing in a graph. Okay, just like we understood them in a tree. So in the next video, we are going to do that. Pretty sure you got the basic idea. So let's meet in the next video and discuss about different terms which we have to learn for a graph.